Operation Anchorage. The Brotherhood of Steel Outcasts need your help to unlock a pre-war armory, which requires you to complete a virtual reality simulation of the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska from Chinese forces. I think this is one of the most insane ideas for a story in gaming history. You're stripped of all your gear and have to use the weapons provided as you fight through snowy mountains, culminating in a showdown with a Chinese general. Your reward for finishing this historical reenactment is a treasure trove of powerful pre-war tech, including the Gauss rifle and the legendary winterized T-51 power armor. This DLC gives you a front-row seat to one of the most important events leading up to the Great War, all for the low price of fighting a digital war. What a bargain. But in my opinion, this is far from the best DLC, and they only get better from here. The Pit. Post-war Pittsburgh, a hellish industrial town built on slavery and survival. This DLC is famous for its morally complex story, where there's no clear good or bad guy. You answer a distress call from an escaped slave named Werner, who asks you to infiltrate the Raider-controlled city and help liberate his people. The city is also being ravaged by a mutation that turns people into mindless creatures called Trogs. Yucky. You're forced to choose between siding with Werner, the freedom fighter, or Lord Asher, the Raider leader who believes his brutal order is the only thing keeping the city alive. The best part is, the game hits you with no karma penalty for either choice. Armed with new weapons like the auto axe, Pit forces you to confront tough questions about what civilization is worth and the price of freedom. Broken Steel. This is the big one for Fallout 3, the DLC that continues the story right after the main game's controversial ending. It also raises the level cap from 20 to 30, giving you more wasteland to conquer. Instead of dying at Project Purity, you wake up 2 weeks later to continue the fight against the Enclave alongside the Brotherhood of Steel. The stakes get even higher when an Enclave orbital strike destroys Liberty Prime, forcing you to take the fight directly to their mobile base at Adams Air Force Base. Broken Steel essentially fixes the original ending while adding a ton of high-level content for players who weren't ready to hang up their Pip-Boy just yet. Point lookout. Pack your bags, because this DLC takes you on a twisted vacation to a swampland in Maryland. This is a massive, new, explorable area, wasn't directly hit by the bombs, but is just as dangerous, filled with mutated hillbillies called swamp folk. They're very pleasant little creatures. The main quest revolves around a centuries-old feud between a ghoul named Desmond Lockhart and a disembodied brain named Professor Calvert. The DLC is heavy on exploration and atmosphere, with unique weapons like the lever-action rifle and double-barreled shotgun to find. You can also track down a Chinese spy or investigate some Lovecraftian horrors, which includes a very memorable drug-induced hallucination sequence, focusing on exploration and environmental storytelling. Mothership Zeta. In the weirdest and wildest DLC for Fallout 3, you get abducted by aliens. This expansion trades the gritty wasteland for the sterile corridors of an alien spaceship, fully embracing the sci-fi B-movie vibe. You have to team up with other abductees from across history, including a little girl named Sally and a woman named Soma, to fight your way to the ship's bridge and defeat the alien captain. Once you've seized control, you get to command the mothership's death ray in an epic space battle against another alien vessel. But if you thought this was weird, trust me, there are some weirder ones later on. Dead Money. Welcome to the first DLC for New Vegas, a brutal survival horror heist mission set in the legendary Sierra Madre Casino. This one is all about atmosphere, tension, and learning to let go. The courier is kidnapped by Father Elijah, fitted with an explosive collar, and forced to work with 3 other captives: Dean Domino, a ghoul entertainer; Dog God, a schizophrenic nightkin; and Christine, a mute Brotherhood scribe. The collars will detonate if you get too far from your team or too close to certain radios. The DLC strips you of all your gear and pits you against nearly invulnerable ghost people in a city shrouded by a toxic red cloud. Honest Hearts. This DLC takes you to the pristine wilderness of Utah's Zion National Park, a land torn between warring tribes and a legendary tormented leader. It's a story of faith, revenge, and redemption. Your caravan gets ambushed, leaving you stranded in Zion, where you meet Joshua Graham, also known as the Burned Man, Caesar's former second-in-command who was set on fire and thrown into the Grand Canyon. Now a devoutly religious man, he leads the Dead Horses tribe and is locked in a conflict with the hostile Whitelegs tribe. You must help him resolve the conflict, which provides a ton of great gear, especially for melee builds. Honest Hearts offers a stunning new landscape and a deeply personal story about one of Fallout's most iconic characters. But none of these were as good as the next one, Old World Blues. This DLC is where New Vegas gets wonderfully weird. Your trip to the Big Mountain Research Facility starts with your brain, heart, and spine being surgically removed. You've been operated on by the Think Tanks, a group of eccentric pre-war scientists who are now just brains in floating robot bodies. They send you on a quest to get your own organs back while you explore a crater filled with bizarre experiments, robot scorpions, and other mutated horrors. Old World Blues is a fan favorite for its sharp writing, unique humor, and the sheer volume of powerful upgrades and weapons it throws at you. And I have to say, it's definitely my favorite DLC out of all of these on the list, but there are still some crazy ones I haven't mentioned yet. Lonesome Road. This is the final, epic conclusion to the Courier's story. DLC sends you to a devastated landscape called The Divide to confront Ulysses, the original Courier 6 who refused to deliver the Platinum Chip. You journey through a hellscape torn apart by nuclear warheads, fighting off dangerous new enemies like marked men and tunnelers. All the while, Ulysses speaks to you remotely, providing cryptic commentary about your past and how your actions have had unforeseen consequences. Your companion EDE also gets a cool new trick, the ability to detonate nuclear warheads to clear paths for you. Courier's Stash. This isn't a story expansion, but a bundle of all the pre-order bonus items. It's a little care package to get you started on your Mojave adventure. The Stash is a compilation of 4 packs: Classic Pack, the Mercenary Pack, Tribal Pack, and the Caravan Pack. Each one provides some unique early game equipment and consumables to give you a head start. Nice. Gunrunner's Arsenal. Like the Stash, this isn't a quest line, but a massive expansion for anyone who loves the gunplay of New Vegas. It adds a whole new armory of weapons, mods, and ammo types to play with. It also includes a bunch of new achievement challenges, designed to test out all your new high-end gear. But this wouldn't be a DLC video without talking about Fallout 4's DLC's Automatron. The first DLC for Fallout 4 is all about building your perfect robot companion. A mysterious villain known as the Mechanist is unleashing an army of evil robots on the Commonwealth, and it's up to you to stop them. You respond to a distress call and meet Ada, a robot whose caravan was destroyed by the Mechanist's forces. You team up to hunt down the villain, who turns out to be a young woman named Isabel Cruz, inspired by comic book heroes. The best part of this DLC is the extensive robot customization system, allowing you to build deadly mechanical allies with a huge variety of weapons and parts. Automatron lets you unleash your inner engineer and build the robot buddy you've always dreamed of. Wasteland Workshop. This DLC is for the settlement builders who want more creative and slightly sadistic tools to play with. It's a workshop pack with no story content, focused entirely on new construction objects. The main feature is the ability to build cages to capture wasteland creatures, from cats all the way up to deathclaws. You can then tame these creatures, or more excitingly, build an arena and force them to fight each other or your settlers in gladiatorial combat. It also adds new concrete structures for better defenses. Wasteland Workshop gives you the power to turn your boring settlement into a post-apocalyptic Thunderdome. Far Harbor. This is Fallout 4's largest story expansion, sending you to a mysterious fog-covered island off the coast of Maine. It's a fan favorite for its complex moral choices and compelling narrative. You're hired to find a missing girl, Kasumi Nakano, who believes she might be a synth and has fled to a synth colony called Acadia. The island is locked in a tense three-way conflict between the human town of Far Harbor, the synth refuge of Acadia, and a radical Children of Atom cult. You have to navigate the dark secrets of the synth leader DMA, who murdered and replaced a town leader with a synth, and decide the fate of all 3 factions. With Nick Valentine playing a major role and multiple possible endings, Far Harbor is a return to the deep, choice-driven storytelling that fans love, myself very much included. Contraptions Workshop. Another one for the builders. This DLC adds manufacturing and complex mechanical components to the settlement system. If you've ever wanted to build a Rube Goldberg machine in the wasteland, this is for you. It allows you to build factories with conveyor belts and manufacturing stations to automatically produce weapons, armor, and other items. You can also build elevators and other elaborate contraptions. Vault-Tec Workshop. Ever wanted to be a vault overseer? This DLC lets you build and manage your very own Vault 88. You team up with a pre-war ghoul overseer named Barstow to complete the unfinished vault and conduct a series of twisted social experiments on your new dwellers. You can build exercise bikes that generate power, soda machines that dispense drugs, and eye exam devices that read minds. The DLC even includes quest content and hints that the sinister Vault-Tec Corporation may still exist in some form. Vault-Tec Workshop gives you the ultimate creative space and a taste of the morally bankrupt science that defined the vaults. But the next one was actually one of the most insane DLCs on the list, Nuka World. The final major DLC for Fallout 4 lets you live out your raider fantasies by becoming the overboss of a Nuka-Cola theme park. After being lured to the park, you're forced to survive a deadly obstacle course called the Gauntlet. After defeating the current overboss, you take control of 3 distinct raider gangs: the Operators, the Disciples, and the Pack. You can then choose to either restore the park's themed areas by working with the gangs, or you can turn on them and reclaim the park for the good guys. You can even expand your raider empire into the Commonwealth itself by conquering settlements. Nuka World is a massive, fun-filled expansion that offers a rare chance to play as a full-blown villain villain. High-resolution texture pack. This one's pretty simple. It's a free, PC-only DLC that does exactly what it says on the tin. It enhances the game's visuals with higher resolution textures. Very simple, but much appreciated by us players. Wild Appalachia. This was the first major expansion for Fallout 76, focused on adding new quests and features to redeem the game after its rocky launch. It brought new quests, areas, and gameplay mechanics to the world. Nuclear Winter. This update added a Battle Royale mode to the game, which was later discontinued because of a low player population. When the mode was removed, its unique rewards were moved to other parts of the game. Wastelanders. This was the game changer. Wastelanders was a massive update that finally added human NPCs to the world of Fallout 76. This fundamentally changed the game, providing the traditional Fallout-style dialogue and quest lines that players had been asking for. Steel Dawn. This expansion officially introduced the Brotherhood of Steel to Appalachia. It came with new quest lines about the arrival of the Brotherhood forces, though it did create some lore inconsistencies with the faction's previously established history. Steel Reign. As the name implies, this update continues the Brotherhood of Steel storyline that began in Steel Dawn. It expands on the faction's presence and their conflicts within the Appalachian region. Expeditions. The Pit. This expansion allowed players to return to Pittsburgh, the iconic location from Fallout 3's The Pit DLC. It offers expedition-style missions that take you outside of the main Appalachian map for the first time. Skyline Valley. This is the most recent major expansion and the game's first major map expansion since launch. It adds the Shenandoah National Park as a whole new region to explore, complete with new enemies, new events, and a brand new vault.